Welcome to Tactical Rifleman. We're going to do a quick video now on how to zero the iron sights on your rifle. Now this works with these A2 carrying handles. It'll work with backup iron sights. It'll work with sights on AKs. But primarily we're going to focus on the iron sights that come on most of your standard AR rifles. Now, step one, decide, hey, are you going to do a 25-meter target, the standard military way that then gives you a zero for 300 meters, or you're going to use a 50-meter target, which a lot of units prefer, and what we try to push, which will give you a roughly a 200-meter zero. Decide one or the other, the pros and cons of both. But whichever one you decide on using, make sure that you're using the appropriate zero target for that. So number one, just make sure you're using the small sight aperture on the rear sight of that rifle. You want the small one, right? Next, you want to make sure that you've lowered that rear sight all the way down as far as it'll go. All right, now if you're doing a 300-meter zero and you've got one of the older ARs, let's say an A1 or A2, you want to come up just one click past the 300 mark on the rear sight. That's because that's a 1 minute angle up. Now, if you have a newer rifle with the removable carrying handle with the two knobs on the side, that means you've got an A3, maybe an A4 rifle. That is a finer thread. Those are half-minute angle clicks, and you're going to come up 2 clicks. There's also a Z right there. You'll see the Z on it. All right. Next thing you want to do, you're behind the rifle, you want to make sure you've got a good, stable firing position. All right, your setup, you don't want that gun jumping around at all. Make sure you support it on something good and solid. Sandbags work great. We've got a rubber block here. Now, as far as holding the gun, you notice Keith there has his hand up underneath the forearm. That's how a lot of people zero. We personally kind of prefer what we call a sniper hold on the gun. Go ahead and rotate out, Keith. There you go. What this does is the gun is still supported up front, but it's allowing him to have a more stable movement and adjustments on the rear of the gun by raising, lowering this support hand there. Once that's good, you're going to make sure the gun's loaded, gun's hot, he's stable, he's got a good natural point of aim, so when he closes his eyes, opens his eyes up, he's looking clear through those sights, looking through the rear sight and the front sight, directly onto the target. Now, he can't be muscling it over. Natural point of aim. It's relaxed, body's where it needs to be, but also the most important thing everybody misses is good sight alignment. This front sight needs to be directly in the middle of that rear sight aperture. And the AK, it's the same as a pistol. You would want it front sight right in the middle of that blade on the rear sight. It's imperative that those sights are lined up as perfect as possible. Otherwise, every time you move your head around on the stock, you'll be getting a different sight picture, and you're going to have big groups downrange. All right, so he has good sight alignment. Next step, we're going to fire that nice 3 to 5 round shot group. Go ahead, fire 3 for me, Keith. Gun's back on safe. All right, now you notice he wasn't jerking that trigger. Good, smooth trigger pull. We're set. Let's go down and take a look at the target. All right, so we've come down. We're going to take a look at Keith's target. Shot group's not bad. For a 25-meter zero, you're looking for a shot group. The goal should be that about the size of a dime. Now, 50-meter zero on the target, you're looking for a shot group about the size of a quarter. So that's not bad. It's actually a real good shot group. All right, so Keith's got 2 bullets. I like to circle them, just so when we come back, if there are other holes, I know which ones he shot the first time. And then I mark where the center of the shot group is, and I number it, all right? This shot group number 1, he's off to the left of the target. Now, these zeroing targets, all right, he is 9 to 12. He's in the middle of it. We're going to have him go left 10 clicks. And then, because it's 3 clicks for that windage knob on that rear sight, and then for elevation, we're going to actually adjust the front sight, not the rear sight, and he needs to move the point of impact up 1 block. And they're numbered on the side of the targets here. They really are. So we're going to move him up 1. That's our first adjustment. All right, so we now have the adjustments we need to make. I actually write them down, helps me stick them in my head. We're going to go back, we're going to go make those adjustments on the gun. All right, so we've looked at our target. We know what our adjustments need to be. Now we've come back up range and we've got to make those adjustments. Now, we've got to raise and lower that strike of the bullet from where we hit on the target. We don't do that with the elevation knob on the rear sight. That stays where it's at. All adjustments for moving the strike of the bullet on that target are done with the front sight. Now, there's a dozen different types of AR sight tools out there. This particular one is made by Troy Defense. It works okay, but it was designed so you can just use the tip of a bullet. Sit that bullet in there. We know we need to move him so many clicks. Turn it clockwise, and that's going to raise the strike of the bullet up 1 block on those AR targets. Clockwise, what it's doing is it's just threaded. What you're doing is you're lowering the front sight into the front sight well here, and what that does is then when you bring it back up on target, it's going to raise the gun. If you need the lower point of impact, you go counterclockwise. Gents, it's easy. 1 click, it's going to move it 1 block on those targets. All right, so that gets us our elevation adjustment. To make our windage adjustment, all we're going to do is it's 3 clicks on this knob per block on that target. All right, so we'll go as many clicks as necessary. All right, he should be set now. Piece of cake. Now, repeat. We're going to shoot our next 3-round group. We'll go down and take a look at it again. All right, let's go check it out. All right, so we made our corrections to the rifle. We had Keith send another shot group. Come back down, and if you make your corrections correctly, you should be right in the middle of the target. You might have to make fine corrections, shoot an extra shot group, but you can see shot group that big, you can kind of tell Keith's been to a couple sniper schools and was behind a sniper rifle quite a while in Special Forces. But anyways, good shot group. We're gonna call this weapon zeroed. All right, so we're gonna just keep repeating this process until we've moved that shot group onto the center of the target where you want it to hit. Each time he shoots 3 rounds, you go down, circle them so that you know those have already been shot. Make your measurements for your corrections, come back up, make the adjustment, and keep doing that until you've got that shot group right in the center of the target. You'll keep repeating that process, then you're set. So remember, once you've confirmed 0 here and you're set, you then got to go out and confirm it at distance, right? So go out to the range, take this 50-meter 0, go out and set out that 200-meter target, and bang away and confirm that 0. Make sure you're dead on, and then you'll be all set. Gents, that's how you zero iron sights. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below.